United Artists Channel 63 presents the United Artists Sports High School Football Game of the Week.
Tonight from Ferndale High School, it's the Dondero Oaks taking on the Ferndale Eagles. Good evening, everyone. Dave Zorn along with Bob Griglak for another exciting high school football season here on United Artists Sports. And Bob, tonight a pretty good matchup because both teams find themselves in the same situation. Not too many experienced players coming back as starters.
I think the big difference in this game is who's going to get off the line first, who's going to not make the mistakes. And the team that does that is the team that's going to win today.
Okay, well, that's a story most of the time. It's pretty much going to be the Dondero defense against the offense of Ferndale. They have 3 returning starters, all in the backfield.
Well, Dondero's defense last year had 5 shutouts, maybe 6 was it, or 5?
6 shutouts.
There's quite a few shutouts, and I think that's going to tell the story of the game if they can continue on that line.
Okay, and we'll be back with the kickoff of tonight's game right after these messages. Stay with us.
If you're in business, you know this sound is music to your ears. And maybe you'd like to hear that sweet sound of success more often. Whatever your business, one of the most efficient ways to increase it is to advertise on cable TV. Cable TV targets your sales message to buyers in your shopping area. Affordably, effectively. Cable TV advertising. It works. Call United Artists Cable Advertising today.
Back here at Ferndale High School, Dave Zorn along with Bob Griglak for the kickoff of tonight's game between the Ferndale Eagles and the Dondero Oaks. And the Oaks are on the field already. The Eagles taking their time coming out to the field. They left the locker room and are walking very slowly to the field. It'll be Fred Fuhr's team last year, the great record of 6-1 in the conference, 8-2 overall. And for Ferndale, 2-5, 2-7. There are the records for you from last year. Dondero winning the Metro Suburban Activities Association with that 6-1 record. Ferndale in the Southeastern Michigan Association, 2-5 and 2-7 overall. And a great season last year for Fred Fuhr's team. Again, Bob, we talked about the 6 shutouts that he had.
You know, I think his defense is the key to him winning, particularly today, because right now he doesn't have a lot of people returning. He needs to make sure that he doesn't make a lot of mistakes, and defense is the key to the game. Defense will either force mistakes or will keep your offense on the field.
There we see head coach John Bazier for the Ferndale Eagles shaking hands with one of the referees tonight. John Bazier, head coach here at Ferndale, has had primarily running teams, and this year he surprised us by saying he wants to go 60-40, favoring the pass.
You know, it really surprised me, particularly because, you know, in the first game you don't want to make a lot of mistakes. You want to make sure that your kids draw some confidence out of the first game. But today what he wants to do is prepare himself for the conference schedule. He wants to be sure he gets at least a 50-50 split.
There you see Fred Fuhr on the right, his defensive coordinator walking right in front of him there. He's got the... and now he's standing right in front of Fred Fuhr. Fred is behind his defensive coordinator, and his defensive coordinator is John Duncan. There we see the defensive coordinator for the Eagles. And both teams now, the captains taking the field for the coin toss to get the kickoff underway here. And the 1992 season. And both teams expecting good, hard-hitting, and a clean game from these two teams.
Let's talk about the weather in the field, first of all. First game of the year, the field's in perfect condition. Take a look down at the field and look how tall the grass is. It's going to make a difference when Ferndale tries to run the ball. They have some fast, small backs who are going to try to turn the corner. With tall grass like this, it's going to slow them down a little bit. It's perfect conditions out here today, about 75 degrees. Sun is just setting now, so it should be a great day for a ball game.
And it is a great day as summer winds down, and really we didn't get that much of a summer, but now it's starting to heat up, believe it or not. The coin toss finally down on the field as we are trying to get things underway here. And the referee asking for the decision. And finally, the decision is made. Ferndale will be kicking off to the Dondero Oaks. So the Oaks will receive. There is John Bazier, head coach here at Ferndale. Again, primarily running teams, and he's got tall grass out there now, and it doesn't look like he's going to be running. It looks like he's going to be throwing the ball.
Well, I don't know. It's hard to say. You know, if you run, too, in tall grass like this, if you run straight up between the tackles, between the guards, it's not going to affect you as much as when you go outside.
Let's take a look at our referees tonight. Referee Fred Collins, our umpire Greg Norman, the linesman Bill LaFurge, and the line judge Robert Scott, back judge Dick Buckholz. And the receive team coming out now for the Dondero Oaks. They had a very fast team last year, a lot of speed. This year, that speed is gone, and they're primarily going to stick with more of a power running game. They have more of a power I formation, 3 backs, and 2 tight ends is what they like to go with. Very rarely will they split. There we see the quarterback, Carlos Griffin, for the Eagles. Griffin also the strong safety on defense.
When Dondero is going to throw, they're going to throw short. They're going to run the linebacker, tight ends out, and they run down and outs, crossing patterns. They're not going to throw deep. They're going to try to open up the middle and try to open up the corners so they can run on the ends.
And Sabraka will be doing the kicking, number 39. He's the fullback and a returning captain, outside linebacker. And one of the keys to this Ferndale Eagle team this year, both offensively and defensively. Taking a long time getting this game going tonight. Little butterflies in the stomach.
It's the first game of the year.
First game of the season.
Yeah.
Sabraka to kick. And we are underway in the 1992 season. The ball taken by the Oaks. Goldman, Sean Goldman on the return out to about the 34-yard line. Let's see where they mark it. Be the 34, 33-yard line, and that's where the Oaks will start. Not bad field position for their first possession of the 92 season. Now, an interesting story for Dondero, quarterback-wise. Their main quarterback, Mike Schlack, went down with a dislocated shoulder. So starting is Charlie Lother, a senior. Schlack is a junior, and he would have been the starter, but the senior, Lother, goes in, 5'11", 205 pounds. Power I to the right. Handoff to the fullback, and a big gain for number 36. That's Mascaro. Sean Mascaro, the fullback, on the first carry, and a big gain for the Oaks.
2 tight end set. What they're trying to do is just trying to pop it up the middle to get some penetration on the linebackers. Linebackers have to make the tackle. It's usually 5 to 7 yards down the field.
Second down and about 3 yards, a long 2, if you will, and Lother coming up to the line, and again a power I and 2 tight ends for the Oaks. Nothing fancy on this defense, or on this offense rather. You're going to see to the tailback, first down and more. The handoff going to Baker. Baker, the tailback, 5'9", 185. And a nice gain there, picking up the first down. So the Oaks, nothing fancy. They're just coming right at them.
Ferndale's running a 6-person front. You watch this right here. There's 7 people on the offensive line. All they do is take on their man, and the linebacker has to make the tackle. You've got an extra man on the line, and if each man blocks his man and pushes him back or opens up a hole, obviously it's going to make a difference. They got to get a quick hitter.
Ball just over the 48-yard line. First and 10 from there. Handoff to the other back now. They're spreading it out pretty well. A flag down, and we talked about that in the open. There may be some penalties tonight, Bob.
Well, you know, in the first game, people have jitters. They're going to jump on the line, but I think that might be a face mask. I don't know. It kind of looks like his head turned a little bit coming through.
Looks like it's going against the Eagles. Let's see what happens.
Flag in the play at the line of scrimmage.
Now it's going against the Oaks. Hold on.
Yeah, it is going against the
John
Oaks. It definitely is, because they're talking to the defensive captain.
Yeah, and the Oaks are coming out. They want to run a play, but
Got a legal procedure on the white team. It's a dead ball foul. It'll be 1st and 15. This way.
Fred Collins with the call, and 1st and 15. So dead ball foul knocks them back 5 yards. And the Oaks, who were moving pretty well on the consecutive plays, now get a penalty.
Well, Dave, that's the first game jitters right there. That legal procedure, the offsides, those are the things that will come out in the first game or two.
1st and 15 now for Dondero. Power I right again. We've seen that formation. Cross blocking inside, a little counter with the running back. And coming out, looked like Dinkelman, the handoff to Dinkelman. There he is.
Look at the difference right here. The linebacker stayed home and pinch in. He's able to slow him down while the safeties or the cornerbacks made the tackle. The cornerbacks, particularly number 20, is going to pinch in a little bit more if they keep running up the middle. And when he does that, it's going to open it up in the flat for an easy pass. So watch that play.
Head coach John Bazier, a little concerned here as the Oaks moving the ball, but now they face a 2nd and about 12. A counter play inside again, this time read perfectly by Deshaun Brown on the tackle. The defensive tackle right there did not give any ground and was right there to meet the running back.
Well, that could have been a penalty also, because when he went in motion, you can see right here, he'll go forward. Watch. See, he went forward a step.
Yeah.
That could be a penalty, but he didn't call it.
It was Mascaro on the carry, and he got it back to the original line of scrimmage. It's 3rd and 10 now for the Oaks. There you see number 4, Carlos Griffin, the strong safety. He is also the quarterback on the offense for the Eagles. I formation in the backfield. The first time they had 2 receivers split. And the passing game will not work, and trying to get some yardage out of it is Lothar. The quarterback trying to scramble. The pressure got to him, Bob, and good defense by the Eagles.
Well, the penetration is what made the key there. He went back and he rolled to his right. You can see he's got no lane. He's got a lot of bodies in front of him. You can't see anything. Here you go, right here. You can see he's got all kinds of bodies in front of him when he went to throw the ball, and that made the difference. He couldn't get the ball downfield, so he took it upfield himself.
A good defensive stand by the Eagles after the Oaks were moving the ball successfully on a few carries there. They had about 3. Carlos Griffin is back to receive. And punting it away is Rob Baker. Baker with a great punt, and he's got to field it inside the 5. It's David Morgan down inside the 15-yard line. Let's see where they mark it. It'll be about the 12 or 13-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Eagles, and they are deep in their own territory.
I'll tell you what, he took a pop on his head. He's lucky he even walked after that one.
So now the Eagles on their first possession.
Take a look right here as he takes the ball up. He takes the ball sideways instead of forward. Now watch, boom, right in the helmet. Oh, another one, right in the helmet again. There's no spearing allowed in high school, so they can call that as a penalty if they wanted to.
Yep, David Morgan finds some hitting on his first play of the 92 season. I formation, now Morgan in motion. The pitch back, and nothing there as the Oaks stop it. On the carry, number 28, Bill Wrigley.
That play really didn't develop for him, Dave. It looked like almost like a draw as he went back. I don't know if he knew what he was doing, to be honest with you. Maybe the first play of the year.
We'll try to give you the correct time. A number is off on the clock, so we'll try to give it as close as we can. So that's 12 minutes left here in the first quarter. And the carry goes to big number 39, Dave Spracca. Spracca with his brother on this team.
The Oaks defense is playing real tight. What they're not going to allow is that quick hitter up in front. They're going to try to make them run outside and therefore take away their speed.
3rd down now, and about 5 yards coming up. Two men in the backfield. A handoff to the first man through. No, the second man through. It's Wrigley again, the tailback. a junior at 5'9", 165. And it's 4th and a long 1 yard, maybe 1.5 coming up.
The first back is trying to block out the linebackers. He comes up and fills the hole. Second back is following him through and picking up the block. That time they filled really nicely.
Eagles forced to punt now. 4th and about 2. Here's the punt. It's a shank off the side of the foot, but they'll get a good roll inside the 40, and it'll stop rolling there at about the 38-yard line. So the Oaks really don't lose that much ground and get it right back close to where they were. The punt out there by Wrigley rolls to about the 38-yard line. 39-yard line is where they mark it.
Well, it wasn't pretty, but when you look at it on the scorecard, it's the same way.
Don't forget to tune into Oakland Forum Friday nights at 9 p.m. right here on United Artists 63. Oakland Forum talking about issues that affect all of us in and around Oakland County. And here are some of the fans making it out to the stands tonight. A warm night as we head into the Labor Day weekend. I formation in the backfield. The handoff to the first man through. And a good gain for Mascaro.
Quarterback has some nice motion with his hands. He fakes the ball really well and hides it. As he follows through it after the handoff, it takes the linebackers a second to react to who has the ball.
Both teams trying to find their rhythm. No score right now. We're in the first quarter. And I think we may have the clock for that second quarter. It's finally corrected itself. But it is not correct as we look at it. We have to get the official time from the referees down on the field. Power I left now, the first time we've seen this. Second down, and about 4 coming up. Second man through, Mascaro, and he is hit hard. Stopped short of the first down, but it'll be 3rd and short yardage coming up for the Oaks.
Michael Olson made the prototype tackle, and you're going to see right here, he takes his helmet and puts it right in his belt buckle. After he does that, he just starts driving.
Yeah.
There he goes, driving him right back.
That's picture perfect right there. Stood him right up. And it makes John Bazier happy, but it's 3rd and very short now for the Oaks. A measurement coming up to see if they did get the first down.
I don't know. It looks like he might have it.
They may have gotten a generous mark here from the referee.
Well, it's hard to say. You know, it's the point of contact.
Yeah.
Because when you drive Pearson back like that, you know, you never know where he got to forward motion-wise. But it's all, you know, up to the referee.
Looks like they got it. First down for the Oaks. So despite the great play there by the Eagles to stand up Mascaro.
Dave, we've got a situation here where Ferndale is running a 6-1 offense or defense. They have to change that up because right now these quick hitters with a 7-man front is hurting them. They're just running the ball right up the middle, and that one linebacker is not filling the gap at the right situation.
There you see it. On the wide shot, you could see it. Here's the tailback through, and again, the big gain on the first down.
Well, that time they ran a 5-2, so they did switch up, so it could make a difference.
Baker on the carry and a big gain on a first down.
You can take a look at it right here as he takes the ball up the hole. He's got a gap. He hits it quick, and then one of the defensive linemen make the tackle. But the key thing is they've got to quick hit it. They've got to get in there because they've got the men to take them and move the people out.
Now again, the Oaks in a pretty good situation. 2nd and about 5 coming up. They've been getting 5-6 yards consistently on their first down carries. Power I right. And they're going to pass. Lowther goes deep and overthrows his intended receiver. Intended, number 83, Paul Karlstrom, the receiver. Karlstrom just couldn't get to it. Had he let him just a little bit less than he did, he would have had a pretty good gain out of that.
Well, he really wasn't that open because he was open to the outside. He did have a chance to run under the ball. You're right there. But here's the key thing. They're running 3 people in the backfield with 2 tight ends. They've got no wideouts. They've got no wideouts, so you're bringing everybody in tight. If you pop open, you've got a chance to break it for a big one.
So it brings up a 3rd and 5 now. Charlie Lowther, the quarterback, I formation. He's got a flanker out to the right side, and that's where they run. And they stack it up. The Eagles hit him for a loss. Ryan Parsons on the pitch and the carry, and he didn't get anywhere. It's a 4th and punting down now for the Oaks right around the 46-yard line of the Eagles.
I think the Oaks have to be patient today. They have to stick to their game plan, run the ball with a quick hitter up the middle, run between the tackles. And if they can do that, they're going to control the ball and control the game.
The Eagles now looking for good field position after a poor field position on their first possession. Here's a short punt. Morgan coming up to field it. He's going to go down the sideline, gets a good run out of it, and he's out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. We'll see who they mark it. So not bad field position compared to what they had to start with last time, Bob.
Well, there's some penetration from the defensive line on that one, and he had to kind of short kick it. He didn't get a real good follow through, and because of that, he hit it real high and real short.
So the Eagles start there now. A little bit of breathing room for them. And now they can do something they really didn't get a chance to do in their first possession. Ball just shy of the 25-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Eagles. 2 men in the backfield. There's your quarterback, Griffin. Carlos Griffin sends a man in motion. That's Morgan. Griffin to throw on a first down. He takes it himself. Carlos Griffin, and he picks up the first down himself. Well, I don't know if it was a design play, but there was nothing to throw to, and he immediately took off.
The key to that play is what he had a lot of penetration. He couldn't throw the ball to the side. I think it was a quick hitter. It was a quick throw. The problem was he had 3 people in his face, pulled the ball down and ran it. It was a smart play.
And with his speed, he can get away with that. A lot of other quarterbacks, it'll take him about a second to get going, and that's where the defensive line can catch up to you. But with Griffin, it was one movement. He was ready to throw and then just tucked the ball away and took off. 1st and 10 for the Eagles. The pitch goes out to the tailback, and the man swinging around. It really isn't the tailback. It's Sabraka, and a big gain for Sabraka. Sabraka came around as the pitch man on that, and a big gain.
That was a well-defensed play. Take a look at it. Right here, they've got 3 guys ready to make the tackle. He puts his head down and runs through 2 of them.
It was. And that was all David Sabraka on that one. And he almost picked up the first down. A big 9-yard gain for Sabraka makes it 2nd and less than a yard for John Pazier. Carlos Griffin takes it himself. 1st down and more as he tries to break away from the tackle and finally brought down by Rich Strange. Strange got him down. Strange, one of the 2 returning men that Dondero has on defense, and he was the last hope. Because once he gets away, it's going to be tough to catch him.
Here's the problem with that particular play. Is you watch his hand. You didn't see it here, but on his hand, he's got the ball out in front of him. Anybody who goes for the ball is going to knock it loose.
Now, he does carry it, as they say, like a loaf of bread,
exactly.
And that can cause problems if the Oaks catch up on that and pick on that. 1st and 10. The Eagles on the move. I formation in the backfield. Handoff to the tailback. A big gain again. And the Eagles on the move. Wrigley on the carry. Gain of about 6 or 7.
Well, they're keeping the ball on the ground, which is a little different from what they say at the beginning of the game. It's a quick hitter. He takes the ball back. He looks for his hole. Here's the key. He doesn't see it in front of him. He takes the ball a little bit inside and finds his hole and gets a nice gain.
Good blocking by the line and the backs leading through, and that got him about a 7-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down and about 3 yards.
Look for a pass on this one.
In motion is Morgan. Handoff, first man through, 1st down and a little more for the Eagles. Sabraka on the carry.
This is really surprising me, Dave. You know, we talked earlier before in the setup before the game, and they were going to run 50-50 at least, passing and running, but it's not happening.
That was difficult because it was difficult for me to believe John Pazier is going to throw the ball more.
Well,
we have seen constantly running teams every time we've come out here.
I couldn't believe it. You know, I mean, between you and I said, well, he must be preparing for the season.
Yeah, there's the clock, and it's not going to be running until that 2nd quarter starts. We did not have it for the 1st quarter, but that will end the 1st quarter, and we'll keep you updated now that we have the clock back.
That's assuming that it'll run once it's on.
Well, the reason why it was such a fast 1st quarter is because of all the running that we've seen.
That's very true.
And there is no score right now, but I'll tell you what, the Eagles are on the move. And don't forget to tune in to Oakland Press Perspective with your host, Neil Monroe. That's Friday at 8:30 p.m. right here on United Artists 63, right before Oakland Forum.
Looks like O'Neill's a little sullen there.
Huh?
O'Neill looks a little sullen there.
Yeah, he does. I don't know if he likes sports or not, but you don't think so? Maybe he does.
Wrestling, probably.
He's upset. You know why he's upset? He is not here. That's why he's sullen. He's not here to watch the game with us. He's got to stay back at the studio to do the show.
Looks like he's a big wrestling fan.
That's right.
Yep, that's what it is. Good drive going here. They have 3 first downs, and they've rushed the ball 5 times for 40 yards.
And here we go to start the drive. Ball at about the, 36-yard line. Griffin passing downfield, and it's intercepted. So the Eagles running the ball effectively, go to the air, and it cost them.
After the interception, so the Elks will take over the football at their own 15-yard line.
The ball was at about the 31-yard line.
Let's take a look here.
Started.
Is he over the line when he throws the ball?
I think he was.
He sure was, by a good yard.
I thought he was. No flags came down. That's why I didn't mention it.
Well, it works out for the Oaks.
Either way, so it doesn't really matter. But he was over the line.
It does matter if the penalty went the other way.
Yeah. Well, the Oaks wouldn't have taken it.
That's true.
First man through. Both teams very successful running the ball on the first down here tonight. And a big gain.
You must have listened to me after that last game, you know.
Mascaro on the carry. It's a big battle of fullbacks here. Mascaro and Sabraka. Let's take a look here.
Straight power drive football right here. Stands him up. Look at that. That's a little different blocking. Instead of firing out to get to the defensive lineman, he stood up and then pushed him to the side. Nice technique.
Good strong run by Mascaro. It is first down now and 10 for the Oaks. Ball at about the 26-yard line. Ball is loose. And it looks like the Oaks got it back. One of the linemen came back, or was it Mascaro? I think it was Mascaro came back with some help from his lineman. Number 59 also in there. That was Matt Hill, the center. So the center, if the center comes back to find the ball, you know that there was a problem with the snap.
Exactly, that's what happened. Ferndale had a real good chance of getting the ball. I think one of their smaller men were just kind of pushed to the side.
So it's second down now. They lost a couple yards. It's second down and 12 for the Oaks. And they need one of those big runs now before they try to go to the air, if they even do that.
Well, here's the key thing. Are they going to stay to their game plan? Are they going to run the ball up the middle, the quick hitter? We'll find out.
Well, if they've learned something from what Ferndale just did in throwing the interception, they're probably going to stay on the ground, and that's what they do.
Whoa.
It's a run right up the middle. He's straight up and down. Nobody really knew that Dinkelman had the ball. He was surprised he was still standing up. Everybody went down in a pile, and Dinkelman was still on his feet.
I'll tell you what, I'm seeing some really nice hitting from Ferndale. They're a well-coached team, you can tell, because when the defensive people are hitting them, they're hitting them and taking them down or back or to the ground or whatever.
And both sides, coaches said that we're going to see some good, clean hitting tonight, and it always is between these two teams. And a good matchup to start this 1992 season. There you see the fans in the stands enjoying the nice weather that we're having tonight. And let's just hope it turns out this way every Friday night, Bob.
It would be nice.
Oh, not just for us, for the crew. For our hardworking,
they have to stay outside.
Hardworking camera people and audio people down on the field. Lowther back to pass. He throws a screen out to Baker. Baker is hit. Right around the line of scrimmage, and the Eagles read it. And it brings up a fourth and punting down. Someone is down right now. Looks like number 79.
This was not a well thought out play. They didn't have enough people there to block the defensive lineman. Now take a look here. He's going back. He's looking all the way. He's looking that way. Now he's going to look back. You've got one receiver. You've got one lineman. That's all you have. And Ferndale's got 4 guys. And the 73 didn't even block anybody. He just stood there.
Sometimes if you can really set up a guy. That is number 73 down there. Jason Hudson, the guard who is hurt for the Oaks.
Looks like they're looking at his leg possibly.
Jason Hudson, 6'1", 225. And he looks like he's going to get up here. Good sign. There you see John Bazier talking to his team during the break. And Hudson is up on his feet, and he looks like he'll be all right. I don't know if he's going to come back in.
Well, he kind of lit up on that play. I think it made a big difference in regards to his injury because you have to go until the whistle blows.
He's starting to run. One of the assistant coaches of the Oaks. Maybe the Oaks to punt. Baker punts it away. Morgan to return. Morgan trying to get at least to midfield and tries to make a cut and slips shy of the 45-yard line. It'll be at the 44, and that's where the Eagles will have it. Good field position.
You know, it was a good punt. He kind of outkicked his coverage here. And you take a look, once he gets the ball, he's got 10 yards to run. He should have just ran as fast as he could. Instead, he started stutter stepping and fell on this thick grass.
And we mentioned it's not going to help the runners at all.
The Oaks have an interesting punting formation. They only go 10 yards back. So look for some penetration. Might make a difference later on.
Yeah. I formation. He's got a flanker in the slot and a receiver up top, but they go with the running game. And again on the carry, number 39, Dave Sabraka. Sabraka, the fullback, one of the returning captain. We mentioned him. And let's take a look at the run here. Gain of about 2 or 3.
It doesn't look like he hit the hole very fast. He just kind of floated through it. That's the way I can think of saying.
He tried to push for a couple more yards and was not successful, so it's second and about a long 7 coming up here. Carlos Griffin, the quarterback. 2 men in the backfield. And he'll take it himself, pitches out to Sabraka, and it turns out to be a pretty good gain for the Eagles. Coming towards their sideline. And he gets up to about the 46-yard line. Let's take a look.
This is real close to being a fumble. Look, right here. He gets hit. Just as a matter of fact, he probably lost that ball without pitching it. It probably just got lucky and popped right to the running back.
He was just ready to release when he got hit. And Bob is correct. That would have went out of bounds.
Oh, yeah.
Looked like. 3rd and short. Handoff, first man through. No, second man through. Good fake, and that gets him the first down. Wrigley on the carry, but what a fake Sabraka made going into the line. Everybody thought he was going to get it right there, number 39, and the carry went to number 28, Wrigley, and that opened it up for him.
Well, the key to that run was he took the ball upfield, and he kept his head down, and that made the difference because he got his momentum going. Nobody could tackle him. He ran through 2 arm tackles.
So you mentioned the fake that Charlie Lothar was doing in faking out with his fakes, and now this time it's Sabraka going into the line. The counter by Morgan, and they read that one perfectly as Morgan was coming around from the right side on a counter play, and it didn't work. It'll be 2nd down and long.
What's helping the Eagles is Griffin can run. I'll tell you what, he's shown some good running speed.
Don't forget to tune in to Transition Saturdays at 10 p.m. right here on United Artists 63. Transition takes a look at issues in and around the Detroit area, issues that affect all of us. Here's Carlos Griffin, 2nd down and about 11 now. The slot man, Morgan, is in motion, and they come around to the short side. Sabraka using a little bit of his strength and shaking off the first tackler, but he's dragged down, and it'll bring up a 3rd and possibly a passing down now for the Eagles.
Take a look here. He's throwing some people on the side. He's 5'11", 200 pounds, and I'll tell you what, he's trying to use it right here.
He takes the ball. Forearm.
Watch his forearm. Boom. Ran right through him almost.
Sabraka gained about 4 yards on it, 4 or 5 yards. And it's 3rd and 6 now. Power I right. In motion is Morgan. Ball is loose, and
we got it back.
Incredibly got back into the hands of Wrigley. It bounced off one of the Dondero players right back into his hands. It was loose, believe me. Let's take a look.
Shows some real concentration here. I don't know if he was hit by anybody. I think he just lost it right at the handle here.
There it is.
See?
Bounced.
Boom, right off the guy, right back into his hands.
Bounced right off one of his own players' backs. And
I bet you he'll go to church on Sunday.
That would have given the Oaks great field position. Now the Eagles, by getting that ball back, have a chance to bury the Oaks deep. You don't want a big kick here, just a little pooch just to get them down in there, maybe a high kick so that some coverage can get down there.
So they're going to go for it.
They're going to go for it. They've got good field position. They're going for it. Oh, so they choose to go for it instead of getting him deep into their own territory. Now the Oaks will get good field position.
I'll tell you what, he was open on that curl pattern. You can see right here, it was just a bad pass. He threw it right into the defensive back's hands.
Yep.
He was open.
He had a man open by about 3 or 4 yards right there.
Look right there, 22 is open.
And dropping it is the safety, Sean Cromwell. Sean thought, hey, I'm not a receiver.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a good thing he dropped it because they got better field position.
They did. So Sean knew what he was doing by dropping it. Power I, the tailback getting the call here. That's Rob Baker, number 29, 5'9", 185.
So Braca made the hit. I'll tell you what, he's starting to show his presence in this game.
Second down now and about 8 yards coming up.
The key to the defense for the Eagles is their linebackers have to fill. They've got to read the backs and they've got to fill those holes. Because right now, you look at the Oaks, they've got 7 guys on the line. And if they've got the blocking complement there, they've got to be able to fill those holes with the linebackers.
Just under 5 minutes left, 4:50 left in the second quarter. Hand off to Baker again, the tailback bursts through for a possible first down. This is going to get a measurement. Looks like he may have picked it up. They're probably going to bring the chains out. No, they won't. It is a first down.
Nice offensive blocking scheme here. You can tell the offensive line fires out, and the running backs give them another block, taking on the linebackers. He puts his head down and runs for a good 7-8 yards.
Rob Baker on a big carry for the Oaks. Gets him out to the 44-yard line. And they are getting close to Eagle territory. I formation in the backfield, 2 receivers split. And they've got number 44, Dinkelman, as the flanker. Hand off to the fullback, right up the middle. And a quick opener gets him about 4 yards.
You know what they're doing, Dave? They're not really doing anything fancy. What they're doing is they're just pulling a tackle, they're pulling a guard, they're loading up one side, throwing it back through. And it's making a difference because there's not enough men for Ferndale to stop them.
And the Oaks continue to run the ball well. Second down and about 6 coming up. 3:50 and counting down here in the first half.
It's a good conservative game plan.
Power I, right, 2 tight ends. Oaks to the ground attack again. First man through. What a run, and he just won't go down. That's number 36, Sean Mascaro.
Beautiful run. I'll tell you what, he showed me some power there. He kept his legs running, and that made the big difference in that one. He broke it right through.
It is.
Straight up blocking, just a handoff. He finds his hole. Look at the hole he's got there. Just a beautiful hole. Runs into his own guy, pushes him on the side. Say, get out of my way. I'm going to run the ball further. Takes 2 guys to knock him down. Yep, still didn't knock him down.
Big first down, and the Oaks trying to get a score in here before the half. 3:20 left here in the first half. Power I right again, 2 tight ends for Charlie Lother, the quarterback. Lother to the tailback. Baker on a big run on the first. And they are just getting some big runs in the first down carries.
Tell you what, there's some big holes too. Jason Hudson came back after he limped off the field earlier in the game, and he's opening up some big holes. Look at 73 over guard. I don't know, you really can't see him. They don't get enough credit in there.
He almost lost the ball and then tucked it away.
There you go. He had a big hole. Anybody could have ran through that one, even you, Dave.
And now,
yeah,
after my knee surgery of January, trying to make a cut.
I can resemble that.
But I'm coming back just as well as you did.
There you go.
Clock winding down, 2:30 now. Tailback again, Baker, and he picks up the first down. Rob Baker will pick it up, and the Oaks moving the ball, and a timeout called now. The ref's timeout, just to set the chains. And now they'll start it up again.
Nothing fancy here. Run right, run left.
And the Eagles can't stop them.
They don't have enough guys to stop them.
I think we got to get a headset for the Eagles here and help them out.
What they have to do is they have to bring their linebackers up, run a 4-3 instead of that 5-2 or 6-1.
Yeah, they're hitting the gaps.
Come on, the toes!
I formation in the backfield. They've got a flanker, Dinkelman, off to the left side. Lother finally brought down. He was back there, had some time, didn't see anybody though. He yet didn't have too many receivers going out there, really.
Well,
if they did, they were all covered.
I only saw one receiver, that was 83, and he was down in the corner, but he was well covered. You're right. He's taking the ball back here, and I don't think he sees anybody. He didn't even look upfield. Yeah, there he goes. Now he's looking at 83. He's covered. He says, well, I better take the ball down and run with it. And by that time, the penetration gets to him.
59 really missed 45 coming in there. It was Stan Williams, the defensive end, who came around and got Lother. 2nd down and 10. They really didn't lose anything there. I formation again. They've got Dinkelman down to the bottom of the screen. Right, and Baker now stacked up for a loss. So the pass attempt for both teams has hurt them. The Eagles threw an interception. The pass attempt previous to this really hurt the momentum of the Oaks.
See, they're letting the linebackers come up and fill the gaps when they do a draw or they have some sort of counter play. If they just have the quick hitter, they're just taking them out and blowing them back, and they're getting some yardage.
John Bazier talking to his defensive coordinator, and they need to stand right here. Timeout down on the field. We'll be coming up on the 9th play of this drive. So the Oaks have eaten up the clock, down to 1:06 left in the first half.
I'll tell you what, Dave, they really took themselves out of this particular drive. They really did.
Don't forget to tune in to the Roadshow video program Saturdays and Mondays at 9 p.m. right here on United Artists 63. Still going strong. After, well, how long has that show been on the air?
Well, 5 years as far as I know.
And you know, and they still haven't come over to your house to go fishing. Oh, that's another show.
That's another show, yeah. Open invitation, I'll tell you.
Still, that's right into
Here's the Ferndale Eagles sideline. John Bazier talking to his offensive coordinator. Getting some defensive assistance.
You know, a point to be made here is when they put the ball on the ground, they had the quick hitters, they move the ball, they had 2nd and 5, 2nd and 4, 2nd and 6, and they give themselves an opportunity to mix up the offense a little bit, at least have the potential to.
Right.
They haven't done it, but it keeps the defense on the back of their heels. Now, when they're 2nd and 10, 3rd and 10, you do the draw, you throw a pass, it gives the defense time to react, to come in and to penetrate, and that's what's hurting them.
The pass has definitely hurt both teams here.
The timer!
Timer! Trying to get the clock here. We can hear him.
110.
110. They're looking at 110 on the clock. Always glad to be some assistance. So hey.
Let's go, Starlight!
We have some communication with the field. Trying to get the clock to 110, and we do, and now we can get the game going here. 110 left. Talk about what's 4 seconds, but it can come down to one play. Is what
if they keep the drive going, it means a lot.
Yeah.
Obviously, right now is the biggest play of the drive. You know, it's 3rd and 13.
It sure does.
They probably will go for it on 4th down. We'll see if they can get a chunk of it at least.
3rd and 12. Lother to pass, unloads, has his man, complete for a 1st down. Flag down, though, in the backfield, the offensive backfield, so it may be a holding call on the Oaks, and we're going to bring it back. In fact, number 59 for the Oaks, Matt Hill, the center, knows that it's a holding call, and he's already bringing everybody back.
Well, it always happens, I'll tell you what.
Well, we just talked about the pass hurting both these teams, and
that was a good play.
It was a great play. It worked, but the holding call brings them back again.
Well, now you've got 3rd and 23. I don't know.
It's going to be a big chore. Let's go down the field.
Holding on the white team.
Fred Collins calling holding on the Oaks.
Well, that moves them back to the 50.
See
that
if we
makes
can
a
see
big
it.
difference. Let's see if it was 59. He's the one who knew who it was right away.
27.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess it was somebody there. Let's take a look at the ball, see if he did make the catch on this one.
Ball heading down. Now, some people said it might have hit the ground, and he scoops it, but does it go down? Yes, it does. Looks like it went right through his hand, so it wouldn't have been a catch anyway. Good call by our director, Ruin Arledge. Oh, excuse me, Pat Collar.
Let's go, baby.
Lother to pass. He's hit just as he releases and complete to Dinkelman. Dinkelman down the sidelines. He's out of bounds with 47 seconds left. And where is he, though? He's just short of the first down, isn't he?
And the key thing is there's no flags. Can't believe it. I'll tell you what, there's so much confusion in the backfield here. He's got to push a few of his own men away. He takes the ball back, and here you go. Take a look right here. One guy takes out 2 blockers. 45 takes out 2 blockers. He pushes some people on the side right here. Boom, nice throw.
And it's close enough to get a measurement. A desperation play here for the Oaks, and it pays off.
Looks like he jumped up and threw that one.
47 seconds left here in the first half. We have no score in the game, and the Oaks are desperately trying to get on the board. Let's see how close they are. They've got about a length of a football, 4th and about a yard to go for a first down. With 47 seconds left, if you run, you have the timeout that you have to call quickly. And what do? Do you set up for a field goal, or do you try to get another play on?
You have to get the first down, I think, right now.
Yeah.
Because you'll have enough time to at least down the ball.
So
That's
watch for Mascoro. Mascoro, the fullback, or a quarterback sneak. Quarterback sneak with a handoff to the tailback. Baker gets it. They lead Mascoro through. And it is a first down, so they stop the clock to get the first down. And the Oaks, they're going to call a timeout here. They're going to run it. No timeouts called, and the clock will start on the official.
He got it on the last lunge. If you looked real closely at that particular replay, he was blocked. He ran in the back of one of his blockers. In the last second, he lunged forward and get the first down.
Clock winding down, 30 seconds left, and they just take their time here. I don't understand why they didn't have 2 plays called. Here we go, I formation, 2 receivers up top, 20 seconds left on the clock. Lowther slips and falls, and he's down. He's down right there. In high school football, if you're not familiar with the rules, if you go down, you do not have to be touched by a defensive player. You go down on one knee.
Yeah. He just slips on that wet grass. As the sun sets here, I guess that grass is getting a little slippery. Boom, there you go.
And that stops the play right there. You don't even have to touch him. If you're a defensive player, he's down.
You know, when I played football, I remember that I had two sets of shoes that I wore for different conditions. I had these real thick steel cleats, not steel.
Well, you had all those endorsements.
Yeah, right.
The shoe endorsements.
The shoe companies.
John Bazier is happy about the way the Oaks have handled the clock, and not very efficiently. They had it with 47 seconds left, didn't call a timeout after they got the first down, which would have made sense to run a few plays, and now it's down to 9 seconds.
Well, they have 2 timeouts left, is that right? I believe they only used 1.
Yeah, but what are you going to do with 9 seconds?
Well, nothing now, but they had time earlier.
Yeah, they had plenty of time to use them.
Well, they ran 5 minutes and 30 seconds off the clock on this drive, but I don't think they used it efficiently. You got 12 plays, 5 minutes and 30 seconds, but the last minute, of course, it's the first game of the year. You know, they're not calling the plays as quickly as they would want to. They're not doing the 2 plays in the huddle like they would probably the second or third game into the year, because it is the first game and they don't want to make any mistakes.
So the Eagles all fired up as they're going to continue to keep the Oaks off the scoreboard here. Well, they've got 9 seconds, and they've got to come up with another desperation play here.
You've got the key thing right now is momentum, okay? If Ferndale stops them, they've got the momentum going into the locker room. And if Dondero scores, obviously they've got the momentum. So it could make a big difference in the second half. Let's see what they do. 1 play, then maybe kick.
They're the defensive coordinator for the Eagles. And we are ready for the last 9 seconds of this first half.
A little confusion here. They're running some players in. I still don't think they know what they're going to do.
66 came in, 70 came out. Maurer and Reeves went in. The pass into the end zone. Another desperation play. Griffin with the interception. Carlos Griffin will run out the clock, out of bounds. And that will end the first half here at Ferndale.
There's a flag on the play.
Is there?
You cannot end the game, the half on a defensive penalty.
There is a penalty, so let's take a look at what the call is. Here's Lother back to pass.
He had time to throw the ball. It just wasn't a good throw. He threw the ball off the front of his foot. There's the problem right there. The guy was open to it. Oh, that's a shame. Wasn't a good pass.
The penalty is on the Oaks. And what are the Eagles going to do? They're going to decline it, and we will go into the locker rooms tied at 0-0. And we talked about a good matchup. It has been a defensive struggle.
Low block on the returning team. So that's the end of the first half.
That'll end it. A low block, it was the call on the Oaks. And that will end it here in the first half. The Oaks nothing, the Eagles nothing, and it's been a struggle for both teams to really get going. They find some momentum, and then it just stops for them.
Well, they have a good game plan when they run between the tackles. The problem is they go away from the game plan and get a little cocky, and they kind of mess up their drives.
I think what really hurt the Oaks was not using the clock efficiently. They had 47 seconds left. That was plenty of time to run a few plays, passing plays or whatever, but they ran the ball. They choose not to use a timeout after they get the first down, and they had roughly 40 seconds left, and they just let the clock run out on them.
They didn't run a play till almost 24 seconds.
Yeah.
So they wasted 16, 17 seconds right there.
And we talked about the 4 seconds that they put back on the clock, and that's how important they can be. We are at halftime. The Dondero Oaks 0, Ferndale 0. We'll be back with more right after these messages.
Presenting Digital Music Express, 30 channels of CD quality music for your stereo. No interruptions, no talk, ever. Now feel the beat with DMX and our 5 great urban channels: dance, soul, rap, blues, and reggae. If you like music, you're gonna love DMX. Digital Music Express. Just call us today.
Halftime here at Ferndale High School. Dave Zorn along with Bob Griglack here to bring you the second half action. No score. The Oaks against the Eagles. A pretty good defensive matchup tonight. The teams have ran the ball very well as we take a look at the stats. Passing, Dondero has 24, but really they haven't passed that much. Rushing, actually the one pass to Dinkelman, I think, was all the yardage they got.
27 yards. The other one was a screen pass that lost 3 yards.
And that came up with the 24. But the rushing, both teams looking good rushing the ball, but they haven't stuck with it. That could have got them in the end zone a couple of times, but they went to the air, and it hurt both teams.
Well, particularly the Oaks, they have a tendency of self-destructing, at least when they get the ball on a good drive. You know, they've run the ball good between the tackles. The quick hitters are doing real well for them. But anytime they try to cross that up a little bit, run outside or run a draw play or even throw the ball, they've been getting themselves in trouble.
You can see the time of possession, 14-9, roughly, because we didn't have the clock in the first quarter. Some malfunctioning there, but we did have it in the second half, so that's a rough estimate on the time of possession. First down, 6-4, so pretty even turnovers. And again, next week, don't forget a big matchup, Seaholm against Troy. That has got to be one of the best games of the year that we will be covering for you.
That looks like a good one.
And hopefully it'll be just as good as this one. John Bazier will get the ball here. Morgan on the return. He's got some room and goes right up the middle on the return. And the Eagles with pretty good field position over the 25 in between the 25 and the 30. Let's see where they'll mark it. About the 28-yard line. 1st and 10 there.
I'll tell you what, the Eagles have surprised me. They've been really consistent on offense in regards to there's been no penalties. They haven't been too crossed up back there. But the key thing is Griffin. Carlos Griffin has to run the ball for this team to be effective. He has to be the third weapon in that offense.
2 men in the backfield. He's got 2 men split. Carlos Griffin fakes the first man through, and they stack him up. Second man, Wrigley, hit hard by number 33, Rich Strange.
They're going to have to open this defense up, Dave. What they're going to have to do is they're going to have to run Griffin out. They're going to have to get him rolling out and pitching the ball, and that's when they were effective in the first half.
Let's take a look at Strange hitting the runner right at the line of scrimmage. Wrigley is stacked up right there. Got maybe a yard. 2nd and 9. Carlos Griffin to pass, has some time, unloads downfield in heavy traffic, and what concentration by Jim Schaffner. Schaffner, the tight end, came cutting across, and a big play here for the Eagles.
Yeah, the key to this play is he had time. He had time in the backfield. Look at his 2 running backs. They're blocking for him. He's got time. He drops back about 8 steps. That's a pretty deep drop for this quarterback, and he unloads a good pass between coverage. 81 has a good chance to intercept this one. Brian Parker, except as you can see right here, the last second he just wasn't able to touch it.
Threads the needle between 2 defenders, and again Strange back there for the tackle. The Eagles running the ball this time and gaining a couple yards on that, so it'll be 2nd down and about 8.
Boy, did he have some nice protection on that last pass play. Couldn't believe the time he had.
And that allowed him to thread the needle as he did. Carlos Griffin showing his ability to throw there.
In the pros, they say if you have 2.3 seconds, that's an excellent time. You kind of collapse the pocket around you. High school, it's a little different. It's tough to call that, but if you've got 2 or 3 seconds to throw the ball, you've got time to find a receiver.
So maybe the tables will turn this second half. Maybe the passing game will come into play. Griffin takes it himself, cuts up and hurdles over the line of scrimmage.
That's what I was getting to before, Dave. If he can take the ball and he can be effective, they're going to start keying on him, and when they start doing that, they can get the ball outside with their good group of tailbacks.
Let's take a look. Griffin and shows us his athletic ability here as he shakes off one tackler. And now he'll hurdle. Look at this.
Look where the ball ends up, though. Boom, right on the ground.
3rd down now and 4. Passing down, maybe not for the Eagles. They have some quick backs and possibly an option play here. Morgan in motion. A fumble picked up by Griffin, and he can't go anywhere. The Eagles kind of eager to get that play off, and it cost them 4th down now. And punting down and coming in is Wrigley.
Let's watch the snap here. He just didn't pay attention to the ball being snapped in his hands. He was calling something off at the line, I think. Or that, or he didn't know the snap count.
And it cost him.
He didn't anticipate the ball being snapped at that time. Didn't pull out. It was a good snap by the center.
It's a 4th down. The scoreboard and both the field marker showing 3. Here we go. And the punt is off. And good coverage by the Eagles. No chance for a return by number 19, Tillotson, as he is hammered as soon as he gets the ball. Good coverage.
He kind of turned his body sideways like he was going to kick the ball out of bounds. Then he came back and kicked it in the middle. But you can see right here, number 8 had great coverage on it.
Morgan is there, and they'll sandwich him from the other side, too, and it looked like Sabraka on the other side.
Morgan's only 5'5", 130, so he showed some speed getting down there.
1st and 10 now for the Oaks, deep in their own territory. Handoff to the tailback, Baker. And Baker is hit sideways. Doesn't gain much.
If you got 2 or 3 yards, that's okay. You have to come back with that same play now. Maybe it'll break for 5 or 6. Let them have a 3rd down or 2. They can come back and they can be consistent with those plays.
There we see the fans out here. Good turnout on a nice evening here. Still summer, in case most of you forgot. And we have a score of 0-0 in the 3rd quarter with 7:35 left. I formation in the backfield, power I. And they go to the right side. Stacked up. And the Oaks had a powerful running attack in that first half. Are stifled here in this early part of the 3rd quarter, their first possession.
He really handed the ball off to different people. He had 9 carries for 34 yards for number 24 and 8 carries for 41 yards for number 36 here.
And actually, there's 29. That was Baker.
I'm sorry, Baker. So, you know, they're spreading the ball around. They don't know who's going to get it. They're running right and they're running left. Looks like Ferndale's defense is tightening up a little bit. Look at the difference. They're running a 4-3 defense. There's the key. Too much time.
I formation, flags fly. And it's going against the Eagles.
Is it?
Yep.
They line up in the neutral zone?
We have a penalty on the field.
We got encroachment on the Brown team, 5-yard penalty, and 3rd down.
Encroachment probably lined up in the neutral zone.
It's the only thing it could be without the ball being
Yeah.
snapped.
So Fred Collins lets us know that it is a 1st down now for the Oaks. Or no, 3rd and short. Now they get the 1st. There's a little hesitation there. I thought they'd get the 1st down. They do get the 1st.
That's a big break.
A big break, and now that can really help the Oaks out with some breathing room in what they call 2 receivers split, I formation in the backfield. First man through and just muscling for some yards is Mascaro.
Mascaro on the carry.
That'll bring up to what, 2nd and about 6.
You're looking at a completely different defense that Ferndale's running here in the 2nd half. First half, I kind of hammered home that Dondero was throwing a 7-man lineup with a double tight end. They were blocking straight up. They were popping the holes. What's happening here is Ferndale is now running with 7 people, 4 up front and 3 linebackers. They're filling the gaps. You're not going to have that quick hitter anymore.
Here we go, 2nd and 6. 6:05 left in the 3rd quarter. I formation. The Eagles come with a blitz, but they go outside with it, and they still stop them. Gain of a couple there for number 25 in there now, Parsons, Ryan Parsons. So a little bit of action in the 1st half.
Showed some good speed on that, the 2 corners. I think Carlos Griffin made the tackle. Let's take a look here. Here comes the blitz straight up and forces him outside. Once they go inside, he runs it outside. He has to jump over. That takes some speed away. People don't realize when you jump up, you're taking yourself out of the play. And sure enough, there's Griffin with the tackle.
Carlos Griffin, the quarterback, not afraid to hit defensively, and he shows it there. 3rd and about 4 coming up now. I formation in the backfield. Look for a pass here by Lother. No, they go to the first man through. Busting into the backfield in a big game for Mascaro. Sean Mascaro fools everybody.
Big play of the game. The key to that whole play was a quarterback fake. He took the ball, he handed it off, and went back like he was going to throw the ball. Nobody knew he had the ball. He popped right through.
They have such a quick handoff in there that not only does it fool us, but it also fooled the Ferndale Eagles, which is more important to the Oaks right now. And they have come up into Eagle territory in a 1st down.
You can do it, Ferndale.
Those quick hitters like that can also cause fumbles because of the way that he attacks the line.
Ball at about the 42-yard line. 1st and 10 now for the Oaks. Power I right. Hand off to the tailback. Baker. Forward for about 4 yards. A big surge by the offensive line allowed him to pick up those 4 yards.
Mascaro now has 11 carries for 71 yards. Pretty consistent. That's a little over 6 yards a carry there.
So Mascaro and the other fullback, Sabraka, carrying the load for these 2 teams. Offensively on the ground.
So that's in good position there, 2nd and 6, because you know you can open yourself up for a short pass, screen pass, pretty much anything you want to do. That's a good position to be in.
We're seeing a lot of what we saw in the 1st half right now in this attack. The big 1st down gains. I formation, 1 receiver split up top. And they go to the air, and it's deflected, and it almost cost them again. The passing game has hurt both teams. Ferndale came out passing early here in the 2nd half, so that might turn around for them, but the pass in general has hurt both teams, I think.
Same thing they did the 1st half.
Yeah.
Remember when they ran the ball and they took it down real tight, then they threw it and they got in trouble.
So now they put themselves in the hole, 3rd and 6.
That time the linebacker made a mistake by letting the guy get in front of him, but he threw his hands up and knocked the ball down.
Yep. 3:56 left in the 3rd quarter. I formation, handoff to the first man through, and this time they're waiting for it. Mascaro gang tackle that time. They knew they were going to get something out of him. Last time it worked on a 3rd and 4, and now it's 4th and about 4.
Well, they've got to go for it. Obviously, they've got decent field position here. Looks like a short 4.
Yeah, short 4 for 3 or 4 yards.
I wouldn't even call it 4. I'd call it 3.
Would you? I don't know. That's a long 3.
Okay, short 4, long 3. They're going to go for it nonetheless.
That's right. I formation. Dinkelman down to the bottom of the screen. They go to the first man through. Mascaro comes through again for the first down. Well, Mascaro did it on a 3rd and 4, this time on a 4th and 4, and he came up big.
Second effort, he was hit right at the line of scrimmage, and he put his head down and ran right through him. Take a look right here. I believe the safety comes up and fills. He's hit right at the line of scrimmage. No, actually, he ran into his own man, it looked like, and that's what happened. Slowed him down, but he kept his feet going, his momentum going, and got the first down.
And a big first down it is. 1st and 10, ball at about the 28-yard line of the Eagles. And surprisingly, Bob, we haven't seen too many penalties tonight, the first night of the 1992 season. Hit in the backfield. Baker is buried by the Eagles as they toughen up.
Well, we've only had 2 penalties now that you mention it, and I don't want to put the onus on anybody, but the only 2 penalties have been on the Oaks, about 20 yards.
So really, well-disciplined ball clubs. They have come out tonight and played very clean football. John Frazier, credit to him and his staff.
Come on, man, come on, man, come on, man. Big
2:16 and counting down here in the 3rd quarter. Oaks on the move. Mascaro, the fullback, and Baker, the tailback, and 2 receivers split. There's the clock. 2 minutes left here in the 3rd. Passing, and in heavy traffic, Lowther gets it knocked down. Those passes on the short side over there aren't going to open up for you too much.
There's a lot of bodies in front of him. He's got to kind of thread the needle between those people. But I'll tell you what, you've got a really good drive going here. That's 11 plays for approximately 6 minutes. They're controlling the ball, but the thing is they're taking themselves out of this drive by going against their game plan. Watch the traffic here. As he goes back to pass, he does have some play action. He tries to freeze the linebackers, but it doesn't work because he doesn't go back far enough. And then a
lot of uniforms out there.
Well, one of the linebackers comes up and almost makes an interception.
And it puts him in a hole again. 3rd and 10 now. I formation, power I. Dinkelman is the power back on the right side. Baker this time. The tailback not getting too many yards, and it'll bring up a 4th and about 7. Let's see, 4th and 8. 4th and about 8.
Well, too long for a field goal, so they've only got one choice here. Go for it. Might be a good time to call a timeout here. Just think about it for a second. You know, they've run a lot of time off the clock. This might be one of the few times they have a scoring opportunity today. And this one play could make a big difference. They've taken a lot of time off the clock here, about 25 seconds so far. They might have to call a timeout.
Yeah, it's getting down close to a penalty now. They better hurry up and get it off. They finally do. Lowther to pass. He's getting pressured. Incredible. There were 3 men back there to block for him, and 1 man got through, and a big defensive play. Let's take a look.
It's confusion right from the start. He takes the ball back. He doesn't really fake it. He kind of clips his running back right there.
Schaffner gets through. Look.
He should have taken the ball back further, so he should have did. But, you know, I'm not on the field, so I can't say.
Lowther was surrounded by blockers, and Schaffner made a great play to get in there. Jim Schaffner gets the ball back for the Eagles. 1st and 10 now for the Eagles. Trying to get off the field quickly is Jason Morgan, and he does. And here is David Morgan on the reverse, and this one doesn't fool anybody out there. The Oaks pick it up quickly. 31 on the tackle, Sean Cromwell, the safety, the monster safety.
Kind of a blind play because everybody blocks down, and he takes the ball out. There's no blockers for him. He just has to use his speed, and he can't get outside.
And Cromwell drags him down. 10 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter, and counting down. They may not get the playoff. No, they won't. The coach stopped him, and we will go down to the other end of the field. That will end the 3rd quarter of play as we continue a defensive struggle here. 0-0 at the end of 3 quarters. And Dondero again, Bob, showing us a nice drive and then stalling deep in Ferndale territory.
Well, it's the third time they've done that they've run down the field basically between the tackles, and when they get down there, they start throwing the ball. Now, they should probably start throwing the ball maybe a little sooner so they don't have to
mix it up a little more, maybe.
Exactly.
So it's cost them. And we again remind you, don't forget to tune into Transition Saturday at 10 p.m. right here on United Artists 63. Program dealing with issues about the Detroit area. All of us.
Well, here's the key factor right here. Dondero has had 6 shutouts last year. They're shutting them out right now. If their defense can play big right here, get the ball back, say around the 50-yard line, which wouldn't be too bad a field position, they could possibly run that ball down there.
Stay low on him. Hit him in his gut, man. Stay low and you'll get every time you want.
The sideline of the Ferndale Eagles, and they're getting fired up down there. 0-0 the score. Someone's got to get on the board here. John Bezier wants his team there. And they've got the ball offensively. 2nd down and 10. In motion is Morgan, David Morgan. Fakes to the first man through, and Griffin, he had 2 men surrounding him, broke through with his speed and picks up the first down. Carlos Griffin. That is what speed can do for you, and just that natural ability. He just cut up quickly and just burned 2 tacklers.
It was a beautiful run. That was all athletic ability, and you can tell right here when he takes the ball up, he has a man to pitch the ball to. He's looking at him right here. That's when he takes the ball straight up the field and says, I'm going to do it myself.
He'll get sandwiched right there. 2 guys and broke right through. 3 carries for 28 yards for Griffin. Good average. The handoff, and not much there. Looked like Wrigley, number 28 on the carry, and it was Bill Wrigley. And a gain of maybe a yard. 2nd down and about 9 coming up.
Griffin needs to run the ball a little bit more. I think he's their best weapon back there, particularly when you're running a veer offense. You've got the chance to hand the ball off to different people, but he's the key. If he can turn the ball upfield, he can make a lot of things happen.
2nd and 9. 2 men in the backfield. Morgan is the slot back. Fakes to the first man through. Griffin will throw, and he gets it off and complete. Let's see. It is. It's complete to David Morgan for the first down. But he is getting dangerously close to the line of scrimmage.
Well, you know, I'll tell you what, it's his first completion to his own team, so that's not bad either. Watch his speed right here take over. He's got the guy coming at him. He turns the ball up. Now let's see where he is in conjunction with the line of scrimmage. He is behind the line, so that was a good play.
Yep. No, he had a completion earlier.
Well, that's right, he did.
He had a big completion earlier.
Yeah.
He threaded the needle to his receiver earlier, his tight end, number 22, Schaffner.
It's been so few passes I can remember it here.
1st and 10, just over midfield at about the 47-yard line. Griffin eludes the first tackler again, but then gets cleaned up on the second one. And maybe a yard gain on that. He does. It'll be 2nd down and about 9 coming up.
It looks like he wants to take charge here. You know, he's the senior. He wants to show them that he can be the leader out there. So that's the key to his team, is if he can show them that, hey, they can gain yards, they can get some first downs. That type of excitement might spread to the rest of the team.
Tom Smith, number 33, the other split end, along with Williamson, bringing the play in. And he will come down to the bottom of the screen. 2nd down and 9 now. Power I right, and in motion is Morgan. First man through. Sabraka on the carry. Gain of about 5 yards. It'll be 3rd down and about 4 coming up.
We're starting to shoot some linebackers in here, and you can tell right now 33 shoots through and tries to get the quarterback before he can hand the ball off. Unfortunately, he does, and gets a nice gain out of it.
Yeah, they mark him back a little bit. It'll be 3rd and 5.
No, I don't like that mark. It wasn't a good mark, I don't think.
Looked like he got a little bit more than that, but we're, of course, we're a little bit further away from the action than the referees are.
That's true. Could have bounced a few yards.
3rd and 5 now. The Eagles on the move. Power I again. Morgan in motion. Fake to the first man through. Griffin under pressure. The screen. 2 receivers out there, and there was some confusion. Sabraka got that one, but number 28, Wrigley, was also there. A lot of confusion here on the Ferndale sideline. Let's take a look.
Well, some good penetration here on the screen. That's okay. You want the defensive lineman to come at you, but the problem is he doesn't drop back far enough. And now when he throws the ball into a crowd. There's 5 people there. Take a look.
And watch Sabraka. And right there, both of them there. Wrigley was there too. And Wrigley gave way to Sabraka.
Too many people in that area.
So 4th down and a punting down, 4th and 7 for the Eagles, and they just get it off. And a fair catch called for at the 20-yard line. The Oaks will start there. Receiving that time was number 81, Brian Parker.
Tell you what, they were lucky that ball wasn't blocked. They went back in about a 15-yard drop off the punt, which made the difference because they were about 10 or 12 yards earlier in the game.
We are in the 4th quarter. No score. Dondero, Ferndale. How close can you get? Good matchup.
Well, you can get 63 to 63.
Which would be a little bit more exciting, wouldn't it?
Yeah, one play could break here. You never know. An interception, a bomb.
Yeah. Lother comes in with the play. 8:13 left in the game. Power I left, and they go left. Hand off to the second man through. That was the fullback, Sean Mascaro. Mascaro, gain of about 2. It'll be 2nd and 8 coming up.
I give Ferndale a lot of credit for going in at halftime and adjusting to what Dondero has been doing in the first half. They were very successful running the ball between the tackles. They came in with a new defense and have the linebackers filling the gaps, and it's made a big difference. They've only limited them now to some short carries on 1st down, 1-2 yards.
Clock running down, 7:35 left in the game. Power I right, and they go right. The tailback, Baker hit in the backfield for a loss. Rob Baker hit back for a loss and back around the original line of scrimmage and maybe further.
I see the Eagles getting fired up here. I'll tell you what, this whole defensive team wants to make some stops, and it's making a difference. You've got 3 guys making the tackle here. He tries to take the ball outside. The initial hit is put on, but watch this. Here comes one. Is there another guy? Can't see him in the play here, but there were 3 guys right on top of him.
Well, maybe it's up to the defenses to score today. We haven't seen the offenses do anything. Maybe a big defensive play will get on the board.
That could very well happen.
There's Fred Fuhr in the middle of the screen, right next to number 48 there. And he wants to see his offense start moving here. They have been moving, but something happens when they get deep into Ferndale territory. They just stall and cannot come up with a big 1st down when needed to continue the drive. Lother throws it up for grabs. Griffin with the defensive play and finally brought down at the 46-yard line.
There's that big defensive play we're talking about, Dave. That was an exciting play. He looked like a center fielder out there catching the ball over his shoulder.
Yeah, he turned into the receiver here. Lother has overthrown his receivers all night. Griffin has been waiting for it, and this time comes up with another interception. He intercepted one in the end zone earlier.
Dinkelman was open, but he overthrew him. Griffin made a beautiful catch. I'll tell you what, it shows that he's got some great athletic ability.
And what ability to just stay on his feet and not go down, and it finally was tackled down. But he spun around and stayed on his feet. 1st and 10 at the 46. In motion is Morgan. The pitch. Back to secret weapon thrown in there, number 34, Toma Mahan on the carry.
Key to that play is he took the ball up the field. He didn't try to run the ball out to the side. Took the ball upfield, got his momentum going, and that got him to 7-8 yards. Take a look. He's got the option to go outside here, but he doesn't. He just takes the ball right up the field, runs around one of the tacklers. It makes a nice run.
A nice gain on a 1st down for the Eagles, and now they're on the move. And it was the defense that set this up for the offense. 2nd down and 4. Morgan in motion, the first man through. Sabraka with his power comes up with the 1st down. About a 5-yard gain for him.
Look at the momentum really shifting here to Ferndale. As I mentioned earlier, their offense is picking up. Look at the offensive line right here. They're firing out. Well, I'll tell you. They drive that defensive line back about 2 yards, and that gives them enough for a 5-yard gain in the 1st
big
down.
Surge.
Nobody touched him for 3 or 4 yards.
Exactly my thoughts. There's Carlos Griffin, the quarterback. The senior has done a tremendous job in commanding his offense.
Where's the 30?
Great ability by Carlos Griffin, as we have seen, not only offensively, but defensively. coming up with that interception to put this team in good field position. Fakes to the first man through, hands off, and I don't know how he got the handoff through to Wrigley, but Wrigley is stacked up deep in the backfield, and a loss for the Eagles, so the Oaks come right back, fired up.
Key to that play action is making sure that the penetration doesn't foul up your play. When you have penetration like that, you can't go through with your fake. You can't get anything done.
And neither team can get anything done offensively. 0-0 the score. 4:30 left here in the fourth quarter, and don't be surprised to go into overtime, Bob.
OT, baby.
Let's see what the Eagles can do on this drive. This is a key drive in the game right now. Second and 14, I should say, here in the fourth quarter. Griffin back to pass. Got some time, and it's running out on him. Finally unloads in the direction of Tom Smith, but he just took a little bit too much time, and there was nobody down there to throw to.
I thought he was going to be blindsided by the defense coming at him, but he made a real smart play by throwing the ball out of bounds and basically out of trouble.
He felt the pressure coming.
Well, I'll tell you what, he must have eyes on the side of his head. I can't believe that. He waited to the last possible second, then threw the ball out of bounds. Great play for the young man.
And it stops the clock with 4:10 left in the game. Third down and 14 now. Williamson brings in the play. And if you're wondering which sideline you're hearing, that's Tina Nixon with the microphone down there for us. And you can hear the Ferndale sideline very good. And the Eagles firing up their offense. Fourth quarter right now, and they're telling their teammates out there, we're going to play 4 quarters and not give up. They may have to play 5 quarters tonight. Third and 14. A big play now. Carlos Griffin going to have to come up with a big play here, and it's a quarterback sneak. Well, if there's anybody who can pull off a 14-yard quarterback sneak, it would be Carlos Griffin.
Well, they're in 2-play territory right here. They're not going to punt, obviously, so they're going to go for it here on 4th down. He's trying to get a chunk of that back, so this way he can have a choice of plays here on 4th down. So that was a good call. So nobody was in front of him, took it down.
So 4th and, what are you calling it, 7 here? John Bazier there on the sideline.
Yep, that's 7. This could be the biggest play of the game right here.
4th and 6. In motion, Morgan. I formation in the backfield. Griffin, he's got a lot of room to run, and he's going to take it himself. First down and more, and a flag.
Oh, boy, I'll tell you what, it's probably a clip out there. And he didn't need it either. He had the first down.
They may bring this one back.
Oh, boy. They will bring this one back.
On the offense. If you take the penalty.
Clipping on the offense.
We'll go 15 yards from right here and go back would make it 4th and about 20.
That will, let's see, bring it down to
4th and 15.
4th down coming up now for the Eagles, and a long way to go.
That's a real shame.
We got a penalty on the offense, clipping.
Okay, as we hear it again, the penalty.
I believe that's the first penalty on Ferndale, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a major one.
Major penalty, as Griffin did not need this. He could have done it himself.
Let's take
it
a look
looks
here.
like it might be away from the action.
Yeah, right
oh, there it is.
He had the first down.
But he would have had it anyway.
Jeez.
We saw the clip right there. So it's 4th now and 14, and a punting down, and possible fake here. No, they'll go for it. End over end, good punt, and asking for the fair catch, the Oaks. Number 81, Parker. Brian Parker asks for it at about the 15-yard line. So the Oaks now have to go the length of the field almost to get into the end zone. And, well, they didn't go for a field goal when they were down there last time, so that's got to tell you about their kicking game. Don't forget to tune in to Oakland Press Perspective with your host right there, Neil Monroe, every Friday at 8:30 p.m. right here on United Artists 63. More importantly now, back to the action, handoff, or a whistle quickly. And the clock is still going. with 3:05 left and counting down here in this game. So it'll be 2nd down and 10.
They don't have enough time to run the ball down the field. They're going to have to throw it if they want to score on this drive. The question is, when are they going to do it? 1st down would have been a good time.
Power eye right. Charlie Lowe through the quarterback. Hand off to the 2nd man through, and that is number 44, Dinkelman, who gains a little bit. He gained a lot more than I thought. Nice gain by Dinkelman.
Key play here for Ferndale's defense. If they can stop them on this play, they're going to get good field position with about 2 minutes left in the game. They might call a timeout.
Might be able to get that ball back. 3rd and about 4 coming up. Third and 4. Little confusion. I formation in the backfield. Dinkelman in motion. Well, to the pitch back to Baker. Baker close to the 1st down, and where does he fall?
It looks like he's short.
Mark it. Very close. They'll give it to him. 1st down. And a big break for the Oaks. Had the Eagles held, we might have seen the Eagles get it back in pretty good field position for one last chance. And now the Oaks have to go the distance here with 1:48 left.
Yeah, good spot on that one.
Looks like we're going to have to go to overtime.
Doesn't look like they want to throw the ball. I don't think they want to lose this game. I don't think they want to win.
Saying they're happy with a tie?
Yes, I'm saying that.
I formation, Dinkelman to the bottom of the screen. They'll throw, and it's batted away.
I don't think he ever threw the ball. I think he kind of pulled it back. Comes up limping, too.
Let's take a look and see what happens.
He's got a short throwing motion. If you take a look right here, pretend like he's not going to throw the ball. He pulls it right back in.
And, yeah, he hung on to it and went down.
Look at it here. Looks like he twisted his knee or his ankle on that one.
Yep, and back for a loss. 2nd down and 12 now. Clock still ticking away at 48 seconds. Lother to pass, and he is just surrounded by Eagles. Clock winding down now. 3rd down, and the Eagles will call a timeout. Smart timeout here with 34 seconds left.
Keep in mind, he's their second quarterback, too. He goes back, and he doesn't ever plant his foot. You can see he's kind of going back slow. I think he had a problem with his ankle on the last play. He never set up, couldn't get the ball away.
And he's surrounded. 5 Eagles around him to make the play. Timeout called by the Eagles. They'll stop it with 34 seconds left.
Team defense, huh?
Team defense, definitely, especially when you see that quarterback back there all by himself.
We used to get these downs 30-10 or 30-15. Coaches say, send everybody.
Don't forget to tune in to Oakland Forum right here on United Artists 63 every Friday at 9 p.m. with your host, yours truly.
You?
Yeah, me. You ever watch that?
No.
You don't live in the system.
I live way out.
Way out. You should move into our system.
Okay.
See all the great programs you're missing? Like this one tonight?
Missing this one, right there.
Couple people enjoying the game. They want to see more scoring because we haven't seen any. 0-0 the score here in the 4th quarter with 34 seconds left. The Eagles call timeout because they think they might be able to get some field position or maybe even a turnover.
Well, there's always a chance for a block punt.
I'm telling you, defensive play might have to do it here to get some scoring on the board.
It'll definitely be a shocker when it happens, I'll tell you. It's been so long since we've seen a score. How long has it been? 9 months?
They'll throw. Carlos Griffin will get yeah, really. Carlos Griffin will get an interception and run it back, and the game will be over.
That would be an exciting play.
Defense will win the game here.
I enjoy watching him run.
He is just a natural athlete, just great ability, both offensively and defensively. So we can see the 2 interceptions he's made. He's in the middle of your screen, number 4 there. Carlos Griffin, all league. Don't forget next week, Seaholm, the Maples against the Troy Colts at Troy, and the new stadium that the Troy Colts have, and the new school for the Troy Colts. And hopefully some better luck against the Maples. The Maples were winners last year in the division. Big rivalry there next week. I formation, 2 receivers at the bottom of the screen. They go with the run, and they go with Mascaro. Mascaro with the run, and he's going to go close to the first down, and they won't give it to him. Just shy of the first down, 23 seconds left in the game.
I'll tell you what, depends on the spot. His momentum might have took him that far. We don't know yet.
I don't think so. He was just shy. He was right by the marker. Let's take a look.
This is a
Fools
nice
everybody.
play. Yeah. That's the first play he's been in
His
this
own
drive.
player slowed him down, number 71, Kramer. But Kramer made a key block, too, to spring him loose.
Let's take a look at his momentum now. Let's see how far he
The
goes.
flag will be just,
The ball was back behind it. You're right. 4th and 1.
So 4th and 1 coming up now, and a key play for the Oaks with 23 seconds left. All they want to do is just get the first down and run the clock out to go to overtime. Timeout down on the field as both teams talk it over. A defensive struggle tonight for both teams. Actually, it was an offensive struggle because the offense was struggling all night. Don't forget to tune in to the Roadshow video program right here every Saturday following the game and Monday at 9 p.m. right here on United Artists 63. And someone's still fired up. Still fired. 0-0, and this kid is still fired up. He's getting his friends fired up too. They want to see a Ferndale victory here.
This could be an interesting call right here. I'll tell you what, they probably will just keep the ball on the ground and let Ferndale throw the ball up in the end zone. If they don't get the first down there.
Yeah.
It's a smart play.
Let's see what happens. Quarterback sneak. Lowther takes it himself for the first down. Oaks retain possession. And the clock stops for the chain with 20 seconds left in the game.
He got piled on there at the end. That could have been a 15-yard call if they wanted to call it.
First down, clock starts now, and probably will run out. What are they going to do here? Little confusion. Lowther doesn't know what to do.
Oh, he knows what to do. He's just going to
timeout. They're going to call timeout. 9 seconds left.
It's kind of confusing.
Yeah, Lowther was looking to the sideline to Fred Fuhr and was not sure what to do.
Well, I guess that's a smart call because this way, you know, his coach won't get mad at him. You can always run the clock out on this play.
Yeah, you're not going to need any timeouts.
That's very true.
Don't forget to tune in to Transition with your host right there, Jeff Miller. Saturday at 10 p.m. right here on United Artists 63. So that would be tomorrow night.
Mascaro's got 101 yards now and 15 carries.
Depends when you're watching this, I should say.
Good start. Yeah.
Some more fans fired up here.
I don't watch them. I'm way out there.
That's right. You're missing a lot of these.
Just have to move my house, pick it up, and move it in.
See, that's why those fans are so fired up, because they can go home and watch the game after this.
Isn't it on tomorrow?
It'll be on, yeah, but they can still watch it because they live in the system.
Just want to get there so they have a good seat, right?
That's right.
There you go.
So they're so fired up they get to watch this game twice, even though it's 0-0.
Well, something still might happen. You never know.
Well, they'll know when to tune in. So we'll tune into the fourth quarter, maybe overtime. 9 seconds left in regulation time. I formation in the backfield, and the pitch goes back to Baker. Baker will throw downfield. And up for grabs. A trick play by Fred Fuhr. With 3 seconds left now, it'll be second down and 10, and 3 seconds, probably the last play of the regulation coming up here.
Well, he really didn't fool anybody on that one. He had 2 guys in his face, and he had 2 guys covering the receiver.
So the Eagles' defense did very well. It's a play like that that can really ruin a night for John Bazier.
Yeah, but you kind of expect
they really
it.
did. Yeah, sure, they expected a trick play, and you're going to have your defensive backs hanging back anyway, and that's what they did and covered it well.
Well, they're 25 yards off the ball.
Tailback, Baker springs loose, first down, and Baker will end the regulation on that big run. But we are still scoreless, and we will see where we go from here in overtime. Here's the handoff to Baker. He almost lost it. Lowther almost lost the snap.
That could have been the difference in the game, too. He just took advantage of what the defense gave him, ran the ball up for a nice gain, but nonetheless, it's still going into overtime.
So with the timeout now, and we will be going into overtime. No score at regulation. And we will be back with overtime right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Guys, what's the best game we had in the last 3 years?
Oh, there's got to be state finals.
State finals? No! Come on.
Yes,
no way.
Yes, it was.
Franklin, best game.
The Cicero Street Classic.
Who plays in that?
Just me and my dad. Who won? Who cares?
How do you build a relationship? Take your time. From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Welcome back to Ferndale High School. We have played to a 0-0 contest in regulation, and we're going into overtime. Dondero nothing, Ferndale nothing. They will shake hands in the middle of the field, and we'll start from scratch again. The coin toss that we saw about 2 hours ago.
There's one big difference, though, in this overtime. You don't have as far to go for a score.
That's right. Both teams will get
do it over, okay?
4 plays from the 10-yard line.
Oh, the tails, and it's ahead. You have your defense. You want defense, okay? Of course, you want the ball. Or, okay? Which goal you want to defend?
Coach, which goal?
No. Look at me. Look at me.
That one.
Okay, so the Ferndale Eagles will defend the left end zone, and they will give the ball to the Oaks to try to score on 4 downs. Try to get into the end zone. And then the Eagles will come back and try to get into the end zone.
Key to being on defense first is you know if you score, you win. If you stop it.
Yeah.
So that's a good plug for you.
Do you win? You got to get in the end zone too, then.
Well, that's true, but the thing is, one play in the game.
That's right.
Whereas the other way, if you score or they score on you, then you have to score just to tie, and then you do it all over again.
Yeah. So let's see what happens as the Oaks will get to the 10-yard line, the first time they've been there all night. And the same will go for the Eagles. There you see number 4, Carlos Griffin. Probably one of our MVPs this evening, both offensively, defensively. Great game for him.
Tell you what, they better keep the ball on the ground. That's what got them at least the best drives that they've had so far.
Power eye right. Let's see what Lothar does here. Hand off to Mascaro. Mascaro inside, down close to the 5-yard line. Not quite, though. Out to the 7, so it'll be 2nd and 7 now. Mascaro carrying to the 7-yard line, gain of about 3.
Well, if he does it 3 times, he's down to the goal line, basically. So you've got 4 plays.
All the fans quiet now. They've been noisy all game long, and now it comes down to this. First man through. Mascaro, did he go in? That's the question. Dinkelman put his hands up, but I don't think so.
Dinkelman isn't wearing stripes, though.
That's right. Doesn't matter. Mascaro on the carry. 3rd down and about a yard to go. Well, Bob, they're doing it with the run as we expected. They've been running very well. It's just they couldn't get close to the end zone. It just stalled. The drive stalled on both teams.
Well, here's their chance to keep it on the ground.
I formation. And a quarterback sneak. Lothar, is he in? Yes, he is. Touchdown. Now do you go for 2 or do you get the 1? Fred Fuhr in the center of your screen. Decision time for him.
I say he goes for 2. Why not? Put some pressure on him. Ferndale's got a young team. They've only got 3 returning starters. Put the pressure on them in the beginning of the game. I mean, at the beginning of the season. Makes a big difference. And your back's to the wall and you've got to score 8 points.
Let's see. They're going to go for the sure. Or is it sure in high school? They're going to go for the extra point. Lothar will hold, though, as you can see.
Yeah, but he's got a sore ankle. He's not going anywhere.
Let's see, the kicker, Tillotson. Tillotson puts it up and through, and it is good. And now the Eagles have to come up with 7 points of their own.
I don't know about that. I tell you what, the way they've been running the ball, I probably would have went for 2, but they made the right decision. They're up 7-0.
So we finally got a score on the board. We had to go into overtime. A 1-yard run by Lowther. And Tillotson's extra point makes it 7-0. And now it's the Ferndale Eagles' turn.
The pressure is on them here, obviously. Their backs are to the wall. They've got to score. And they haven't done a real good job running the ball in the second half. They've only carried the ball 13 times for 39 yards. So they need to pick it up right here.
Play's already been called for the Eagles, and here we go. Split backfield now. Morgan off to the left, and he is in motion. Griffin rolls out. He's under pressure, and he is brought down by the Oaks. A big loss for the Eagles.
I tell you what, they couldn't wait to get toward him. They were all lined up on the line of scrimmage, and when that ball was snapped, they were in there like you wouldn't believe.
Now almost double the distance for him. It'll be second and about 18, 17.
That's a big play right here because now they have to pass the ball. But take a look. As soon as he turns up, as soon as he's looking for his receiver, he's got 3 guys right there in his face. He can do nothing, but he ducks under him. He almost got through.
Almost got away.
Man, is he slipping.
So he'll have to use that ability this time to try to get him in the end zone. Second down. Morgan is in motion. Griffin to pass. Has some time. He's got some running room. He's got a lot of running room. And he is in for the touchdown. Carlos Griffin, we said if there was an MVP to pick in this game, he's the one, and now he has definitely proven it with that run.
What an exciting player, I'll tell you what. The key to that particular play for him is that he had the ball and he looked like he was going to pass it. He froze those defensive backs in the end zone, and when he took it up, nobody could catch him. Great play.
A big 17-yard run for Carlos Griffin. Gets him in the end zone here in overtime.
Looks like he's a little tired. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, he's been playing offense. He's been playing defense. He came up with 2 interceptions and now a big touchdown. Let's take a look.
Here's the key to the play. Watch his hand. Looks like he's going to throw the ball right there. See that?
Froze everybody right there.
That little fake froze 2 or 3 people and was able to turn it up.
Shook 2 tackles, 3 tackles right there.
Nobody still knocked him down.
4 tackles and got in. What ability. We talked about him all night, and we continue to do so. Carlos Griffin.
Now here's the question. What do you do here? Do you kick for the tie or do you go for the win?
That is the big decision that John Basher will make right now, and I really don't want to.
These extra points are not automatic in high school. I hate to tell you this because, you know, typically you don't have a real good kicker on your team.
You might as well go for 2. Is that your thinking?
Yeah.
No, I can't.
Let's go down.
Let's go down. Tackle. Step to his outside leg. Okay? Big gaps now. Inside gaps. Stay high. Stay high. Stick your butt out back front.
I think they want to freeze the kicker. I think they will kick, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Big gaps. Is he talking about kicking or no? No. I don't see a kicker out there, Bob. They're going to go for 2.
This is it.
They're going to go for 2. This is it. A great move here by John Basher. If it works. If it doesn't, I still say it's a great move. Are they kicking?
Yep.
Ooh. I didn't see a kicker go out there, but I forgot that Sabraka is their kicker. A timeout called by Dondero. They again try to ice the kicker now. David Sabraka is the kicker, and I don't think this is going to bother him much.
We've got some mind games going out there.
Yeah.
They didn't show kick to the last second, so the defense might not have
I didn't see the tee out there, the black tee that the kickers use.
They probably did that purposely so the defense wouldn't be ready for it.
And that's why they called the timeout to change up a little bit. So who knows? Maybe they'll go back to the 2-point conversion now.
I think you're only allowed 1 timeout in overtime, aren't you? So if that's the case, that could show up later on. I mean, we still have to do this all over again if they score.
There's your score right now. 7-6, Ferndale needing either 1 or 2 right now to come up with something here.
They're definitely going to kick. You can look, they haven't changed their mind. They've been in the huddle the whole time. They didn't come back and talk to the coach. So
no, the coach is out there. He's running back now. John Bazier was in the huddle. Those players are so big out there, you can't see little John out there. Here we go. Griffin will do the holding, so watch for any kind of trick play there. It is up, it is good, and we are tied. So we'll do it over again.
Guess what, folks? We have to do this until somebody wins this game.
All tied up, 7-7. Boy, we're seeing a lot of scoring now, aren't we, Bob?
The clock is turned off, and maybe that was intimidating. I don't know. On arena football, they only have to go 50 yards for the score. That makes it an exciting game. Maybe we should do that in high school and change the rules up a little bit.
All tied up, 7-7 here in overtime. And the Dondero Oaks will get the ball offensively again. Now, how many times do we go back and forth like this?
As many times as it takes.
To get a winner?
As far as I know.
Is that what we do? That's what overtime's for, right?
That's right.
But you do get ties.
You gotta do your job. Let's
You do get some ties. We're going to check officially. There's the sideline, the Ferndale Eagles.
According to the experts here, this can go on until somebody wins. Right?
Okay.
Yeah,
all right. So bring your sleeping bag. You know, alternate here.
Nah.
You know, Jerry Lewis has got that telephone going on. So
that's right. It is.
We might have one right here. Okay, the Ferndale Eagles, the team is trying to get the fans fired up. Let's go back to center field. What a great game these two teams have played.
I don't know about the split every time.
I'm going to flip it. You got the choice to, you call it in the air, okay? If I drop it, we'll do it over. Called tails. It's a tail.
Defense.
And you'll choose defense, okay.
They will go defense again. The Eagles will, so we'll see exact repeat of what we saw. John Bazier.
Hey, defense.
Getting his team fired up. This is a great game. You talk about scoring. Sure, we didn't see any scoring in regulation, but what a great game it's been for both of these teams. This is something that they'll be talking about the rest of their lives, and what a great game these two teams have played.
What a matchup for the first game of the year, too, because I'll tell you what, we haven't seen really any injuries, so that's good news for both teams. It also prepares them for these tough situations later on in the season. The pressure situation.
61, you got to get there, Deshaun. You got to get to your inside game. Come hard and penetrate. Take a chance.
Well, the fans are fired up now.
This is the loudest they've been. They were very quiet in the first series of overtime, and now they have come to life, and now they're going to be quiet again when these plays are run. So much rides on these 4 plays.
First, Ferndale was down 2nd and 18. I thought they were done. But I'll tell you what, Griffin came back.
You can't count them out with Carlos Griffin. 1st and 10. 1st and goal. First man through. And what a defensive play by number 60, Michael Olson, who took the big running back Mascoro down back into the backfield.
Olson was the man who made that great hit earlier in the game that I mentioned, that he hit the belt buckle and drove him back. He did the same thing. Well coached.
Mike Olson, the outside linebacker, what a play he makes. Take a look.
Here's the key to this play is he just takes him, grabs him, and just pushes him back. Gets him on one leg. That makes a difference, too.
Coach is going to love that. 2nd down and 7. He gained about 3. Oh, movement on the offense. That's going to hurt. Number 76, Ray Deutscher, And Ray knew it right away. He moved and he said, oh no.
Tell you what, it's one of the few penalties we've had today, and it's been a really well-played game for the first game.
Yeah, it really has. These guys, their concentration is kept up throughout the whole game, and it's a shame that had to happen to Ray, but he is called for the penalty and it knocks him back.
Hey, JC! Tell him to watch 44! Watch 44!
I know who we're going to be watching.
Hey, tell the secondary! Watch number 44! Let's go, team!
Intensity in overtime. 2nd and 12. The pass in the end zone. Touchdown, Oaks. Brad Richardson, the tight end.
Halfback pass worked. They converged on the halfback after they pitched the ball back to him. As they converged, they had a wide receiver open in the end zone for the touchdown. Look at it right here. Here's the pitch back. He doesn't give it away here. Here's half the battle. He doesn't give it away. He's got a blocker in front of him, Mascaro. He's able to get a nice throw down in the end zone for the touchdown. It's wide open.
And the extra point attempt by Tillotson. It is up and it is good.
Not by very much.
No.
We're talking maybe a foot. Bad snap, but a great hands. Be able to get that snap down.
Was that Baker that threw it? The touchdown pass, was it 29?
Yes, it was. It was Baker.
So Baker to Richardson for 12 yards, and the Oaks are in business again. 14-7 over Ferndale.
Well, it's pretty similar to what happened to Ferndale. They were knocked back, and he came back with the big play for the touchdown. It's on the very next play.
And now John Bazier's team has the ball offensively. What a play by Fred Fuhrer's team. A halfback pass. Baker to Richardson, which threw the defense off. And a good pass by the halfback to get him in the end zone. Tillotson's extra point makes it 14-7. Griffin takes it himself, cuts upfield. And what a run inside the 5-yard line. Griffin sandwiched down there. As he got inside the 5, it'll be 2nd down at about 4 yards coming up now for the Eagles.
He wanted that ball. I'll tell you what, he wanted to do this all by himself. That was his call. It was his play. Fakes the handoff there, freezes the linebackers up front, takes the ball outside. Look at this. Nice run.
And hides that ball from the defenders.
Still carries it like a piece of bread.
Yeah. 2nd down and goal from the 4. Split backfield. Morgan to the left, the bottom of the screen. He is in motion. Handoff, first man through, and he is buried. He gets maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Wrigley, not much that time. Wrigley having trouble getting up.
I think he lost the
Just lost the wind, hopefully.
So he got hit in the back, so that might have...
Yeah, these guys have been playing for 5 quarters now. You got to believe they're tired. Wrigley, hopefully just the wind knocked out of him, and that's what it seems like. Uh-oh, now it looks like his leg. They are working on his leg. And I think I did hear him say my leg.
It's a shame. It's been a real injury-free, penalty-free game.
And it is a shame because now you're getting into 5 quarters of action. Players are getting tired, and you will see, unfortunately, something like this. So hopefully he can come off the field on his own.
Tell you what, right now it doesn't look very good.
You know, somebody saying we got an ambulance, and that does not sound good.
Hey, Coach, 911, call.
They're calling for 911, so that is not a good sign.
They don't want to move him. They're going to wait for a rescue crew to, an ambulance crew to take him off the field. It is an injury to his left leg. And they're probably going to immobilize it right now and put some kind of a splint on that. We are in overtime. Dondero 14, Ferndale 7. Ferndale has the ball. It'll be 3rd and 4. When we come back, the team's going to the sideline now. Ferndale staying there by their player as a sign of support. A stretcher is coming out now.
Looks like the whole team's going to come by just to see what's happening. Hopefully
And
give some room.
the referee telling the rest of the players to go back. That is not allowed. And now the rest of the team will come back over to the sideline. Hopefully this will not be, for the Eagles, a negative for them going into this 3rd down and 4th down situation, if necessary, the 4th down.
I'll tell you what it does do is it takes away the momentum, or any momentum that they had at this point. They're going to go in cold, and penalties can happen, and fumbles, and all those bad things, because you're not keyed on what's happening. You're thinking about the player who went down. You know, you don't have your mind in the game. So hopefully they can put this behind him. Hopefully that man right there is okay.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I had a knee injury back in January. It is not a very, probably the most pain I've ever gone through. To be honest with you, you had a knee injury yourself.
I had the major surgery, and I'll tell you what, my leg was dead. It was a piece of meat hanging there, and it feels great now, and I thank God for the way doctors can make those things happen now. So hopefully he's okay.
Hopefully Bill Wrigley will be back. If not this season, next. He's a junior, so he's got one more year left here at Ferndale. Sign of unity here, a sign of support for Wrigley, the tailback who is down.
Do it, whatever you need to do.
The ref's coming over to talk to the coach. I don't know what they're going to do.
He's asking
here.
for some bandages, any kind of ace bandages.
They try to immobilize that leg so they don't move it too much.
Okay, 14-7 the score. We're going to see if we can go to a break here and come back. It looks like the player will not be moved until we get some sort of ambulance support here. The score 14-7 here at Ferndale High School, as the Dondero Oaks lead 14-7 over Ferndale. Ferndale will have the ball 3rd down and 4 when we come back. Stay with us.
Presenting Digital Music Express. 30 channels of CD quality music for your stereo. No interruptions, no talk, ever. Now feel the beat with DMX and our 5 great urban channels: dance, soul, rap, blues, and reggae. If you like music, you're gonna love DMX. Digital Music Express. Just call us today.
We're back at Hanson Field here at Ferndale High School, and Bill Wrigley has just been put on the stretcher, and an ambulance has arrived and will take him off. It is rumored to be a broken shin. And if we see the replay, we can take a look at how much weight was put on that shin. Here he will get the handoff right after Morgan passes in his motion. The handoff goes right to Wrigley, and watch now as he spins, his left leg will get a tremendous amount of weight put on by one of the defensive linemen of the Oaks. And it's we're not going to keep replaying that, folks, because it's not a pretty sight, but nonetheless, Bill, hopefully you'll be back this year. If not this year, next year, and we hope it's not that serious, but from the looks of it, does not look good, Bob. We both have had
he had about
injuries.
1,000 pounds of weight on him right there. You take a look, he's got 4 or 5 guys. Watch his left leg right here. I mean, I don't want to get into graphic detail with that.
And this 56 will land right on the outside of his leg. And the leg is not made to go that way, Bob.
Ouch.
So we wish Bill Wrigley the best, and his teammates probably playing a little bit inspired now after seeing Bill in pain for so long, and ambulance finally got here. They did get here pretty quick. 3rd and 4 now as we return to overtime. In motion is Sabraka. Sabraka, the pass intended in the end zone out there for number 33, Tom Smith. And just led him too far. Griffin's pass.
Looked like that ball might have been tipped too. I don't know.
Yeah.
Trying to thread that one through a needle.
The running game works well for them again, and they go to the air, and that's going to hurt them. 4th and 4 now.
They're trying to catch them at, on their heels. So it was a good call if it would have worked. Obviously, since it didn't work, it wasn't a good call. But now you can roll out with Griffin, and who knows what'll happen.
Yeah. I formation. Griffin takes it himself. Has some room to run. He will angle and cut up for a touchdown. You're never out of the game with Carlos Griffin in there at quarterback.
Like I said, let's roll out with Griffin. You never know what'll happen. Here he goes. He rolls out. I don't think he ever intended to pass this one. He just wanted to get in the end zone himself.
A lot of wide open field in front of him. Instead of angling, though, he cuts up. And the direct line to the end zone is straight upfield. And even with his speed, he shows smartness there and just cutting up for the end zone. Saw a little bit of room and took it.
It's his 2nd touchdown here in overtime. He's carried the ball 4 times for 20 yards. Not a bad way to make your mark in a game like this. 14-13 now. And go for the tie, would imagine. They did the first time.
Griffin, 4 yards for the touchdown. And they're down by 1, 14-13. Next week, another great matchup. The Seaholm Maples take on the Troy Colts at Troy. Always a great matchup between these two teams. And again, it could be another defensive struggle there as well.
The way Griffin's running the ball, they only need 2.5 yards for the 2 points. Why don't you let him roll out? Do the same thing over.
Yeah, that's what you need.
Landed right here.
With his ability, he can either pass it, run it, and make his decision on what he wants to do.
To have a tight end or somebody trail across the back of the end zone where he can either, you're not going to have legal men downfield.
Yeah, he hit Schaffner on a big play earlier in the game with pinpoint precision, too, between 2 defenders. They will go for the extra point. The 1 point, the field goal, the extra point, rather than the 2 points. With Griffin holding. Griffin to hold. It is up. It is good. All tied up again. 14-14. And we just have to wait and see who's going to be daring to go for 2, huh?
Well, I don't think they're going to do it. I think they'll wait for somebody not to get the touchdown. I think that's the way it looks to me. Obviously, it would have been happening already.
We're in the 3rd overtime now. Kind of reminds me of the playoff game between the Dolphins and the Chargers back in the early 80s. And they just kept going back and forth when Kellen Winslow had to be dragged off the field for exhaustion.
I remember that, yeah.
And came back. And this is that type of game here it's turning out to be.
Well, I've heard of this going 8 times. Somewhere, from somebody. So who knows? We might be here for a while.
Well, look at the dew on the field. You can see the tracks over on the left side of the end zone, just from the people going back and forth to this end zone. Let's go down to the field.
All right. Tail, and then it's a tail. See that? Take defense. Okay.
Dondero ball.
Hold it, Jim. Stand down.
They will stay down at the left end zone to defend that one.
A little change up here, though.
Yeah, they will get the ball. And the Oaks will defend. So trying to put the pressure on the Oaks now, which is a good strategy. You tried it twice. And let's see what will work here.
Everybody who's won the toss is he chose to take defense.
From outside.
Maybe there's a reason for that we haven't seen it yet.
So the Oaks won, Oaks took defense, and I don't know, I think it might work against them.
Well, obviously, we haven't seen anything to make any difference at this point.
I think the Eagles have an edge. They have an explosive player in Griffin, and if he can get in there and make a big play to get in the end zone, that might bring the Oaks down offensively.
Good point.
I formation. In motion is Morgan. David Morgan in motion. The pitch goes back. And a good cut. What a run by Mahan. Toma Mahan, who saw limited action in the first half, came back here with a nice run. Look at him do a little jitterbug here at the line of scrimmage.
He
reminds me of Lorenzo White here.
You see what he does here. Nice little move. Obviously, that dude isn't affecting him. He kept his feet down and made a nice run, about 5 yards.
Split backs in the backfield. Morgan is off to the right now. He's in motion. The pitch goes back to Mahan. He gets it on a bounce and goes back the opposite way. He is surrounded by the Oaks. The defense swarming on him.
Take a look at this pitch here. Let's see how close it is. Yep. See if you get it in the camera. You can't really tell. It looked like it was a good pitch, so he just basically dropped the ball and tried to make something out of nothing, a la Barry Sanders, and didn't do it. Defense was pursued very well.
5, 6 players there by the Oaks. And really, he had no blocking over there. It was designed to go right, and that's why there was nobody there to help him. 3rd down and about 11 now for the Eagles. And again, remember, they have Carlos Griffin at quarterback. He's been explosive here in overtime. Griffin, the handoff to the first man through. Sabraka, and he gains a little bit back, but not enough to get in the end zone, and it'll bring up a 4th down. So maybe the Oaks did the right thing.
Well, it's not over yet.
Yeah. 4th and long. Timeout called by the Eagles. They have a big decision to make right here.
Like you said, maybe they made the right decision, taking defense first. One big play made a difference. They had a big play in the drive where he scored on the 18-yard rollout. But this time, it's going to be all him again, I would imagine. They'll probably roll him out, look for a receiver, and across the end zone.
Hey, you guys can do it. Come on.
There you go. Vote of confidence.
Good vote of confidence from your coach.
Doesn't seem overly concerned.
Players putting on some different shoes. You talked about different shoes that you wore. I think they did put on some longer cleats out there.
Yeah, it makes a difference, I'll tell you, particularly when the grass is as high as it is here.
It's high and it's getting wet because of the moisture, the dew.
They're going to kick a field goal. They're going to go for the 3.
They're going to go for 3. So they want to get 3 sure points here and put pressure on the Oaks to at least score. It is down, it is up, it is no good. It is no good. So the Oaks were right. My guess was wrong. And the Ferndale Eagles did not get in the end zone. And here come the Oaks now. All they've got to do
is kick a field goal.
Is kick a field goal if they have to, but I think they might try to run a few plays to get in there.
I would think it'd be a good idea to get as close as you can. If you don't put it in, then go for it.
And line it up right down the middle of the field.
Exactly.
You don't want to kick from the hash mark.
Just had some problems with a few snaps here today, so I wouldn't take that chance, let me tell you.
I formation. The first man in the backfield, the fullback, is Mascoro. He's been getting the ball, flags flying, and
movement
now
on the offensive line.
The Oaks causing trouble for themselves. Anybody want to win this?
Doesn't look like it.
14-14 the score. We're in the third overtime.
There's a lot of pressure on these boys down there, though. First game of the year, you know, this type of game puts a lot of pressure on you.
Yep. So the third attempt for the Eagles, field goal attempt is no good, and now the third try here for the Oaks to try to break the deadlock. Bouncing outside is Baker. Baker trying to get up to the 5-yard line, or rather the 10-yard line, back to the original line of scrimmage, and is shy of that by about a yard.
Well, that's okay. You got four of the 5 back. They've got a couple more plays to run here, get the ball close, and then if they have to, they can kick.
Here we go. 2nd and 11. Mascoro and Baker in the backfield. Baker, the handoff. No, the pass into the end zone and knocked away.
Boy, that ball hung up. I thought we might have been intercepted there for a second.
Good defensive play by the Eagles to knock that one away, and it was a good call, I think.
Yeah, it was excellent. He was open. He just didn't get the ball out in time. Took it too long for that from the throw.
Threw him off balance with the pass, but that makes it 3rd and 11 now. And the pressure put on the Oaks. So the Oaks have got to get on the board here somehow. And they know all they have to do is kick a field goal. But that's what the Eagles said too. Charlie Lothar, the quarterback. Mascaro and Baker in the backfield. He's got one receiver split up top. He'll go to Dinkelman. Dinkelman, touchdown! And that'll do it. An 11-yard touchdown pass from Lothar to Dinkelman.
What a way to end this game.
What a great game played by both teams. Final score 20-14, and the Dondero Oaks come up with the first win of their season, and the Ferndale Eagles, disappointing loss, but what a great game both teams played, Bob.
I'll tell you what, it was an exciting game. We should have just ran the tape right from the overtime period. It was the first part of the game was just basically run, make a mistake, punt. Now the second half here, this overtime period was just exciting, I'll tell you. And these teams, they really showed that they are well coached. There weren't a lot of penalties. Basically, it was a good played game.
20-14. Fred Fuhr goes away with a victory on the inaugural night of the 1992 season. The Dondero Oaks 20 and the Ferndale Eagles 14. We'll be back to wrap it up here at Ferndale High School right after this.
For years, certain members of the cosmetic industry have been testing things like shaving creams and shampoos on animals. In the process, millions of rabbits and other animals have been blinded, maimed, and killed. Help stop animal testing.
20-14 the final score, and here's the game winner for the Dondero Oaks. It surprised everybody. Lothar to Dinkelman for 11 yards and the touchdown. And 20-14 the final score in triple overtime.
Came on a 3rd and 11 play, and you thought they would have ran it right to the middle of the field to kick the field goal to win it, but they didn't. They threw everybody off with the winning score.
And all they had to do was kick that field goal. As you see them run off the field, we have the final stats for you and the score. 20-14 is what it made it. And again, it took 3 overtimes to get to that. Griffin scoring on the first one, 17-yard run, and then they went back and forth to get that score. Here are the stats. Passing, Dondero 50 and Ferndale 28, really not there tonight, but the running game was there. 188 for Dondero. That pretty much won it for him. Total offense 238, 163 for Ferndale. Turnovers, not too many there. 2 for Dondero. Ferndale pretty good for opening night. And first downs, Dondero took advantage, and time of possession in those 2 categories.
And not a lot of penalties either. It was a well-played game, I'll tell you, for the first game of the year.
Our leaders for the winning Dondero Oaks, Mascoro, 18 carries, I should say, for 113 yards. Lothar passing 4 of 9 for 50 yards. And Dinkelman, 3 receptions for 53 yards, and the big one, the game winner.
He had 2 touchdowns. He played a good game.
And the Ferndale leaders, Griffin with 11 carries for 73 yards, and what an explosive player. He did it passing as well, 3 of 7 for 28, but he got 2 interceptions as well defensively, and what a great player. Is all I can say about Carlos Griffin. Next week, what a game we have for you again. The Seaholm Maples against the Troy Colts. Always a great matchup. This will be the first time we'll be bringing it to you, and we are excited. That'll be at the new Troy High School, and it's always a great game.
Looking forward to it.
Okay, that'll be the game next week. Don't forget to tune in. For Bob Griglak and all of us here at United Artists Sports, the final score, 20-14, the Dondero Oaks beating the Ferndale Eagles. I'm Dave Zorin. Join us again next week from Troy High School.